Right, this is Product Shard on Torchlight 2, and today I'm going to be comparing two skills, because on one of the videos that I made, one of the engineer ones, people were saying that one ability was better than the other, so I thought I'd compare them and just show you what they're both good for, because both of them are good, both of them are different, but it's Seismic Slam and Onslaught. If I zoom out, this is the Onslaught. You jump to where your cursor is. There is a limit, but then in an area of effect, it slows. It basically slows everything they do and does damage. And then Onslaught, which you just jump up, straight back down, and then in a radius you do burn damage, and there's a high chance for you to stun the targets, and it also interrupts them. So just first looking straight at numbers, I use Onslaught most of the time because I just personally think it's a bit more useful, but so this is at level 7. I've got this up to level 5 because someone said you really need to check out like the increased range, because it really does help. It goes from 4 meters to 6 and then increases each time. So if I use it, like, it's quite a big circle, it used to be a lot smaller, so that just makes it much better as well. But for numbers, the Onslaught basically slows everything, slows attack speed, movement speed and cast speed, and also does a different amount of your weapon damage, which for me is quite high. At the moment it's like, that would 78% would be something like 400, just under 400 damage, which is quite a lot when it's in an area of effect. Then Seismic Slam does 800 fire damage over 5 seconds, so it's got a lot of burn damage, and then just 172 fire damage straight off, which then increases with your level. And it has 100% interrupt chance, so you can use that if you're doing it like strategically. You can interrupt their attacks at certain times, and it's got high chance to stun people. So I need to buy a new thing, and yeah, that wouldn't really work. Okay, we'll use this one. Go here, show them both off, because they're both very useful, but in different kind of situations and with different enemies when you're facing them. But I'll show you as we go through. So, summon my two things. Now, as you're going along, you'll obviously come across either big groups of little guys or kind of small groups of massive things. Now, with the little guys, like, these are actually quite big, but the Seismic Slam really helps with them because you can stun. It's kind of anything you can kill in 1 to 2 hits, the Seismic Slam is best for, because you can stun them straight off and then they can't move, and then just the one hit will take them out completely. But whereas something that takes a lot more, you can use Onslaught on, and that just slows it down, and it will just reduce the damage that you take overall. Because if it's going to take you 2, 3, 4, even up to like bosses with way more hits, then you're just trying to reduce the damage done to you over time. So you'll see me using different, or each one at a different time, and then I've got right click on this flame hammer. But it all depends on what enemies you come up against. But the increased range on this really makes it a lot better. And then, kind of, without looking at the numbers, the things that make them different is, for the Onslaught, like, even when I'm here, you find an enemy like a long way away, you can jump straight in with that and slow them down and everything. So you jump in kind of without taking any damage. Oh wow, I went under the map. Whereas the Seismic Slam, you have to like run into the middle and then use it. So when there's huge groups of like strong things, you don't really want to just be running in, not paying attention, or like trying to hit them until you get into the center of the pack. But when there's just a few, you can kind of circle around them, get them in a little bunch, and then use it. Take these guys out. So like, one of these, I've no idea what you're actually meant to call them, but with the purple and gold names and stuff, if you're just trying to stun them, like most of the time, they don't actually get stunned, but because it's going to take quite a while to kill them, so this is the time you want to make sure you're slowing them, and that's kind of the most important. It lasts for 8 seconds, so you don't have to do it too often, but it's the most important thing, so you can kind of just tank damage, because you'll take half the damage you would, because everything they're doing is slowed. It's not one of these. Bring out some turrets. So you can just kind of deal with each group separately. Take out the smaller ones with the Seismic Slam, and then go in with Onslaught. Because actually using both has been really useful. But I will be getting rid of like the last 3 points I've put in have been in this to get up to tier 1, so I can buy them straight back and put them in something else that I use. Because you only really need one of these. It's just you depending on your playstyle which one you want to take. Get rid of all this. Oh, I do have these cool like armor plate things. If I zoom in, if I put them on, they have like no texture. It's really weird. I kind of want to keep them just in case they fix it, because they do look pretty cool, like in the picture.
Your pet's pack is full. Your pet has departed.
Goodbye, pet. And we will carry on. So yeah, no one's particularly like right or wrong in this argument. Well, it's not really an argument, it's just different people using it for different things. But also other things you can think about is if you're going for like a burn engineer with Flame Hammer, this does burn damage, the Emberquake, the Fusillade, I don't know if that's how it's spelled, and like grenades and stuff like that, they all do burn damage. Then obviously you'll want to use Seismic Slam, because that just adds to the burn damage. But if you're just going for kind of running in and meleeing the people, you really want them doing as little damage as possible to you, so you can just tank stuff. And also Onslaught, you can use it to jump out. Like when these guys jump up, you can use it to jump backwards and then jump straight back in again. Or when you're about to die, you can use it. So I've got also, I don't know what it's called. I'll wait till I got these guys out of the way. Take him out. I've got this Storm Burst, which obviously lets you just jump forwards. But instead of that, you could just put like no points into that, and then use Onslaught instead. So it's kind of combining the two into one thing. So you've got more skill points to spend on other things. Head around here. Oh, where are we meant to be going? So now I'm over like level 50, I'm going to do all these map things. Which I really have no idea if there's like meant to be stuff that we're trying to find, or if it's literally just dungeons to get your level up. But I have died a few times doing it. Oh, there's another thing, like if there are enemies that are running away from you, like trying to hit them with this, if they're fast, can really just not work at all. Whereas Onslaught, you can jump straight to them, which obviously hits them straight away, and also slows them, so then they can't run away from you again. But if you're doing melee like me, like two-handed on your engineer, then you don't really want people running away. You can't hit them, like, at all. It gets quite frustrating. Yeah, so here we can basically stun every single one of these with the Seismic Slam, and then take them out with one or two flame hammers, or whatever you've got as your right click or your main ability. You might use something else, but I do not. Chance some stuff with luck, but I really don't get what that luck stuff does. I think I've done this dungeon before. Like the layout. I think they recycle the layout on most of them. Yeah, because this isn't the right way. There's just like a little scroll thing at the end. Which means, haha, see. I always thought that was meant to do something. It was like a lever or something. But no. Bring up the map quickly. Which way are we meant to go? All the way up. Brilliant. What the hell? What did I throw? Oh. How did that change? That was weird. That's never happened before. Didn't even know you could do that without pressing on it. Or maybe I did. Just did it way too quick. Ah, not one of these. So you can use it, like, the Seismic Slam purely for burn damage as well. So you can probably hit these and just leave them, and they will all die, like, from the burn damage. So if you want to, like, speed run stuff, you can just hit them all with that, and then just kind of run, and they'll all die on there by their own accord. But probably should get out of there. So obviously when there's lots of the larger things, you don't want them all hitting you constantly. So you just want to slow them as much as you can, because most of them can't get stunned. And like, there are quite a few things that resist stun as well, whereas I've never seen anything that can resist slow. I don't know if you can, like, find anything that does. Let me know. But I have never seen it, personally. I've seen stuff that, like, I don't know, they kind of can resist 20% of it or something. But I've seen stuff that resist the interrupt and resist stun just like 100% of the time, which can get annoying if that's what you're basing it on. That you want to kind of stun everything and then hit it without taking too much damage. That doesn't really happen sometimes. Whereas you can slow basically everything. And also you can slow stuff and then just run away, because it slows their movement speed as well. So they all have their ups and downs. I need to summon the old healing bot. He's the one that gives me my mana. Is there meant to be a boss somewhere? So you could probably go through, well, I guess you can go through with just one of them. But now that I've been using both of them, I'm kind of used to it. But I'll get back to it. Yeah, I'd pick one and stick with it, because you don't want to waste skill points just putting one or two in something and then never using it, which I've done a lot, because I wanted to try out everything. But if it's like your second or third character, then you're kind of getting used to what abilities you want to use. This guy We want to slow him. He keeps teleporting. See, the stun doesn't like work properly. You just kind of it like affects him at the top, and like above their name you can see the effects that are on them. It says it's there, but it never actually like stops them doing anything. That was weird. Oh, have we gone the wrong way again? Oh no, we can't have. That was useful. We do need to heal. So when you're in the middle of a massive group, you can just stun them and run out before you take too much. But you shouldn't really be jumping straight into the middle of groups, because that's generally when you die. Go this way. Hello. So these guys will hopefully burn to death. If I hit them with that. Should die by themselves. Going the right way. Yeah. Take out them. Oh yeah, and I will say, Flame Hammer, best thing ever. It's kind of all I use. But another thing is like, neither of these two actually use charge. Let's see. So that gains charge. Does that? I don't think it does. Maybe it doesn't. Right. That's... Okay, so Onslaught actually gains you charge, whereas Seismic Slam doesn't. Which is actually like really interesting. That's probably why I gain so much charge all the time. Because all I do is leap into the middle of groups. So that gained me enough charge then to use the Flame Hammer with like the level up kind of thing. Because I'm guessing it gives you charge for every enemy you hit. Level 54. Not going to use my skill point. Because I need to buy back the Seismic Slam ones. Going around in circles. There's the next floor down. I want to fight the boss. Yeah, I remember this. Yeah, it's definitely a recycled. Oh, there we go. Recycled map, just with higher level enemies placed into it. There we go. For bosses, I always use Seismic Slam like as much as you can. I do need to get my healing bar out there. And then I can start using these, because I've been trying not to. Because normally they're the ones that do most of the stuff. I'll wait for this guy to land. There we go. Yeah, so with the Seismic Slam, with Onslaught, you don't really have to get close to bosses most of the time. You just... God damn. You can stay far away, and then you just leap in, attack, and then run out again. So I leap in with Onslaught, then use the Flame Hammer, and then just run straight out again. But I will use Potion there. I stayed a bit too long. And that's basically how I deal with bosses. Whereas the Seismic Slam, I guess it burns them a bit, but bosses can't be stunned, I don't think. At least I've never been able to stun one. Whereas you can slow them. And also you can leap through attacks like that are trying to push you back. With Onslaught you can normally jump through them. This Fire Drake guy's got a lot of health. They definitely work well together, the Onslaught and the Firehammer, because every time I'm jumping in I'm getting extra charge without actually having to just attack him like melee damage. Gains me a little bit, might not be much, but then just gives me the extra damage when I use the Firehammer with a charge thing. There we go.
My pack is full.
Pick up this chest. Ah. That's a weird sword. Is that working yet? No. Oh, that's better. That should be enough for the time being.
Your
Away,
pet
animal.
has departed.
Check there's nothing I'm missing. Oh, fire ring. Wonderful. And we'll take the portal back. So that's kind of the differences between these two abilities, or skills. There's, yeah, so, overview. It's like, this will deal fire damage and stun them, but doesn't do much normal damage, and doesn't slow or anything. Whereas Onslaught does a lot more damage compared to like what weapon you're using, and just slows them a lot. So Onslaught's more useful for bosses and tougher enemies that are going to take a lot more than 1 or 2 hits to kill. Whereas Seismic Slam's good for big groups of small enemies that you can use one kind of AoE attack that deals a lot of damage, which will wipe them all out. But because you've stunned them, they will deal no damage to you. And Onslaught gains charge, which for some people might be very useful, including me, because I did not know that. But cheers for watching, and make your decision. Leave in the comments which one you use, and we'll have a vote at which one's better. They are both useful for different things.